Well, hello everybody. It is September 5th, 2018. Welcome back to G Bear's Hop Along Homesteading. Yeah, hop along. Hopping along on one leg with the other one a little on the stiff side, but it's getting better. It's feeling a lot better. I did soak it today in some drained off ice water and took some of the swelling down. I used cold compresses on the area around the bandage so I wouldn't get it wet. And it worked pretty good. Then I took a little nap. I woke up feeling like I could run a marathon. But of course, just walking out to the van changed all of that. I did go down and check my mail. What I'm showing you here is a case of Kirkland water. And inside of here are a bunch of bandages and some Neosporin spray and stuff like that. And inside I have a bag of organic Freestone peaches from Sprouts. And all of that came from a couple of my subscribers. John and his wife Cherie came out again. Of course, they checked with me ahead of time, made sure it was okay. And I said, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm on the ouch list, so I'm hobbling around and taking my time. So sure, come on out. So they come out, we sat there on the porch and we had a good conversation and walked around the compound. Well, they walked, I hobbled. And we checked everything out and had a good conversation. But that was really nice of them to bring all that stuff. They brought me a 12-pack of beer too. And that's inside the cooler now. And I just got back from checking my mail and I brought a couple of bags of ice back and threw it in there, and I'm going to have that all nice and cool. I also threw some of their water in there so that I'll have some ice cold water to keep hydrated during the day, because I understand the weather said we're going back up to the triple digits again. All right, just real quick here. This is my old winch that used to be on here. And this was a really powerful winch, a real strong winch, much better than that little thing. But the only problem with this is a remote control system, and it had a little push button remote for up and down that goes on the keychain. And you'd think, well, that's going to be handy. No, not really. The problem with it was when you press the button for the remote, whether up or down, even if you press and release, it would run for 3 seconds and stop. 3 seconds and stop. So this thing was not good for working this bucket, because it would go up a little bit and stop, up a little bit and stop, and going down a little bit and stop, down a little bit, stop. That one, I just pressed the remote on it, and it either goes straight on down or straight on up. So that worked out better. But I'm going to take since I'm in sit-down mode here for doing work, I'm going to take this apart and turn this back into a standard remote that goes on here. And then I'll have a secondary winch for when I need it. I may take that one off and mount that on the back of the unit so I can use it for pulling trees and bushes and stuff. And then on this one, I'll put it on the front here for running the bucket. We'll see. I also have a piece of 7-inch swivel pipe here. Originally, I bought that for the microwave exhaust to the outside, but I don't really need that because I do most of my cooking outside on the barbecue. And I just set my microwave exhaust up to be a recirculation fan. So it pulls it up, runs it through filters, and puts fresh air back out into the room. So that I'm going to use with that little fan right over there on the trailer. I'm going to convert that fan and this little unit into a bathroom fan, because that fan motor over there is 12 volt DC. All right, let's move around the corner here and go over to the electric room. All right, got good news and bad news in here. Good news is I connected my rectifier. Those are the 3 black wires there that are coming in from my turbine. There's my rectifier, and the rectifier connects the turbine directly to the batteries. It doesn't go through a controller like that, and that controller is tied into the system now also. So what that controller does, let me see if I can get the door open here. What that controller does is, if the turbine actually puts in too much electricity into the batteries. Instead of blowing up the batteries, this thing will click. I'll shut up so you can hear it. And that click means that it's now sending power over to this heater. This is a heating element. And yeah, that's getting warm. So what that does is it runs off the excess power. And now you see it's automatically gone back to its regular state. So it's just, right now it's just putting the power into the batteries. If there was power. Here is what the turbine is producing right now, 0.0 watts. Okay, I got 13 volts in the batteries. I got 0 hours of power coming in because there's nothing coming in. Now here, the WP right there, 99.9, that was yesterday. I had a 17 mile an hour sustained wind for a little while, and it actually put out 99.9 or 100 watts at a 17 mile an hour wind. That's supposed to be a 400 watt turbine, and at 17 miles per hour only getting 100 watts out of it means the turbine is crap. It's a piece of junk. Okay, so there it is right there. Now I got 2.2 amp hours of power since I hooked that up yesterday early in the morning. So it's been running more than a day and a half. And I haven't gotten anything out of it. And I'll show you on the watt hours here in a minute. Okay, there's the watt hours, 19.0 watt hours. All right, you got 19 watts an hour coming out of that turbine in a day and a half. That's ridiculous. It's a piece of junk. So I'm in the market for the new turbine. I've got to get that new turbine out here to my electricity in the nighttime when the wind is blowing, or when the sky is overcast completely and the wind is blowing. So I'm glad I bought those. It finally settled it once and for all. My suspicions were correct. The turbine is crap. Has nothing to do with my controllers. My controllers are working fine. It's the turbine that's crap. So I will get a new turbine and hook that up, and not right away. I've got other things to deal with, like hobbling around until I'm healed. And we'll talk about that down the line. Let's see what I'm doing right now. This is upside down, of course. 160 watts is what I'm drawing with the stuff that's running in the cabin and so forth. 161 watts. 230 volts at 0.74 amps. 5 amps. Something just kicked on and took 5 amps on a startup. My power factor is 0.943, so I'm almost batting 1,000 on there. Just wanted to show you that. And then, of course, I always love doing this. You have to read it upside down because there's a wall here and I can't go on the other side of this unit. But if I press this, total working time, 9,615 hours, 0.10 hours, or 0.01 hours. All right. Total consumption of power, 844,512 kilowatt hours. That's since I hooked this up. Total electricity cost, $0.00. Now that's the best part of it all. I've said that before and I'll say it again. All right, that's all there is to it. The girls just got their greens. I just hobbled out there and fed them. And the water is all checked. They're all ready to go. I've been using the ATV. That's why it's parked so close to the place here. I've been using that to get around the compound here instead of having to limp around. The only other thing I can show you is if I move around the back side here. I had a late holiday camper come in, and they're across the street there. Let me zoom in on that. And they came in with a pickup truck towing the camper and a small SUV following it. So John and Cherie, his wife, were here when they came in, and we were hobbling around here. I showed them my solar setup and all of that. And they were wondering if people just pull into the desert and camp. I said, yeah, they do that. But who knows, that guy could own that land and just coming out to check it out. That's all for today, people. G Bear signing off.